This presentation is for the foldable on page 4. Please turn to page 4 and we'll be looking at the first flap on the foldable. So the first part we're going to look at is the idea of what matter really is. Matter is this pencil, the New York Rangers and all the equipment they need to play hockey with, this computer and all the papers and binders and things around it, Chris Brown, but seriously I chose it for the adorable looking puppy. That has matter too. And all of these little molecules and things that make up the world around us, that all has matter. So what is matter? All of the things that are in these containers all contain matter because it has a mass, which are little molecules that are there, and they take up some kind of space. Some take up more space than others do. So, under your first flap, matter is anything that has mass and takes up space. Moving on to the next flap, we have what we call elements. This is a periodic table. The table organizes all elements that we know in our world in certain ways. An element is something that cannot be broken down into any other substance. So all of these elements that are here have their own properties, and that is as simple as they can go. They can't be broken down into anything else. And because they can't be broken down into any other substance, it makes them a pure substance. All of these elements have specific chemical and physical properties that they all have. That's another way for scientists to identify the difference between some of these different elements. For example, if you look at oxygen over here, oxygen has its own specific properties versus something like zinc. So all elements can be identified by its specific chemical and physical properties. Finally, we're going to get into atoms. This is an example of an atom. An atom has several parts to it. It's got a center that has nucleus, that's called its nucleus, that has protons and neutrons in it, and around it has these things called electrons. In the center, the protons are positive, and the electrons are negative. There's always the same amount of protons and electrons in an atom, so they kind of cancel each other out. Atoms are the basic particle in which everything is made. Just make sure you write the word particle. So again, here's our picture, and this is our nucleus. So our nucleus is a positively charged center and a negatively charged cloud that surrounds it. The black part and the black little examples over here are the little balls that are over there are the negatively charged particles that surround it. Going back to our elements are made up, they have the atoms that are there, and each element has, the elements have different properties because their atoms are different. Every atom is different. An atom of oxygen is different compared to an atom of nitrogen. This also explains why our periodic table is different, because each of these things that are on here all have different atoms that specifically make those things up.